Hey Astros fans, welcome to today's edition of Extra Innings, the Astros Fans UK next day recap on Astros ball games. Game 147, Astros nothing, Blue Jays 6. Let's get right into the main talking points from a miserable loss in the series finale with 3 up, 3 down. 3 up, leading off Cristian Javier. El Reptil endured a suboptimal start to the game, but while it's right to say he opened up his outing not at his sharpest, the truth is that he was also straight up unfortunate and also hamstrung by some terrible defense behind him. Javier was unlucky on a lead-off tapper for a single in the first before then giving up an RBI double that put us behind. However, the real damage was to come on a subsequent defensive meltdown that was quite likely the worst play on the field that we've made all season. Addison Barger hit a pop-up to just beyond second into very shallow right centre field, which should have been a second out and held the runner at third. However, somehow, with 4 separate Astros fielders converging, no one stamped their authority on the easy catch. The ball dropped, a run scored to put us 0-2 down, and it set a tone for the game from which we would never recover. Another run off Javier in the fourth should also have been a catch as things continued to slide out of control for us. It was a shame as Javier would put together a 6-inning, 6-strikeout outing that actually deserved better in the end, with 2 of the runs conceded, no fault of his own. No, there really aren't any other positives from this one. 3 down, first out, the offense. After battling to win the second game of the series, the onus was on our bats to carry forward the momentum and really kick on, but we did the polar opposite. Yes, it must be said that Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays was magnificent in a 2-hit complete game shutout, but our at-bats were so poor throughout, and we put up a desperately flat collective performance that simply shouldn't be possible at this stage of the season. We only had 1 scoring chance all game, which I'll get to. Second out, Jesus Sanchez. It was a really poor game for the likeable Sanchez, not only going 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, one of those being with runners at the corners and 2 out in the fourth, but also primarily at fault for both a terrible defensive meltdown in the first as he raced in from right field but didn't make the catch, plus the tentative missed catch in the fourth which led to us falling behind 0-4. Sounds a little harsh to go in so hard here, but much of the Astros' success over the last 8 years has been predicated around elite defense in clutch situations. This was far below our established standards. Third out, Jose Altuve. It was another game to forget for the little boss as the one singular major chance with the bats we did get came Altuve's way in the fourth with runners at the corners and just 1 out. However, Altuve would pop up on 1 pitch to foul territory on the first base side in a truly terrible at-bat. This was why I was so staunchly against Joe Espada giving Altuve that needless 9th inning pinch hit in the game before. Altuve clearly isn't right at present and he needs a proper reset for a couple of days. This was just painful to watch. A couple of extra points to finish on. Stuttering and stumbling, our excruciating second half of the season continues to stagger towards a conclusion, with us apparently completely unable to maintain any positive momentum. Time is running out to find answers. And put up or shut up. With 15 games left, it's time for this Astros team to make their mind up once and for all about who they are. Nowhere to hide, let's hope they can come up with the goods when badly needed. With the loss, we dropped to 79 and 68 and back into a tie again with the Seattle Mariners at the top of the AL West, with the Texas Rangers just 2 games behind. Up next, 3 games in Atlanta versus a Braves team that has had a pretty desperate season. They're not literal must-wins yet, but it's close. That's it for today's Extra Innings, the next day recap. Let me know your takes on the loss and the series defeat in the comments. Make sure you're following at AstrosFansUK on all platforms, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the next edition of Extra Innings. Go Stros!